Since the dawn of Christianity, the figure of Jesus Christ has been central to the Christian faith, while for the Jews, he is not accepted as the promised Messiah. But why does this happen? This question is deeply rooted in interpretations of the scriptures, cultural, historical, and religious differences. Let's explore the theological and historical reasons behind this disagreement. 1. The promise of the Messiah in Judaism. The concept of the Messiah, in Hebrew Mashiach in Judaism, is very different from what Christians believe Jesus to be. According to Jewish tradition, the promised Messiah is a human leader, a descendant of King David, who will bring world peace, gather the exiles of Israel, rebuild the temple in Jerusalem, and rule with justice. For the Jews, the messianic prophecies have not yet been fulfilled. For example, Isaiah 2:4 describes the Messiah bringing world peace. He will judge between the nations and will settle disputes for many peoples. They will beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Jews argue that since the world still faces wars and injustices, the true Messiah has not yet come. Therefore, Jesus would not fulfill these messianic expectations. 2. Interpretation of biblical prophecies. Christians see many Old Testament prophecies like Isaiah 53 or Psalm 22 as predictions of Jesus' life, death, and resurrection. However, Jews interpret these passages differently. For example, Isaiah 53, which speaks of the suffering servant, is often cited as a prediction of Jesus' crucifixion. However, Jews traditionally understand this servant as representing the people of Israel as a whole, who have suffered throughout history but will be redeemed by God. Furthermore, the passages that Christians associate with Jesus are seen by Jews as out of context or not applying to a divine Messiah. 3. The divinity of Jesus. Another crucial point is the idea of Jesus as God incarnate. In Judaism, God is absolutely unique and indivisible, as stated in the Shema. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Deuteronomy 6:4. For Jews, the idea that a human being could be God or the Son of God contradicts the fundamental principles of their faith. This difference is one of the greatest theological barriers between the two religions. 4. The role of the Mosaic Law. Christianity teaches that Jesus came to fulfill the law of Moses and establish a new covenant based on grace, not on works of the law. Judaism, on the other hand, believes that the law of Moses is eternal and unchanging. Therefore, while Christians see Jesus as liberating from the requirements of the law, Jews consider observing the Torah essential for their relationship with God. Jesus' message that salvation comes through faith, not works, is seen as a break with tradition. 5. Historical and cultural differences. The Jewish rejection of Jesus is also influenced by historical context. When Jesus lived, there were many others who also presented themselves as the Messiah. The religious leaders of the time were wary of these movements, fearing uprisings that could attract Roman reprisals. Moreover, Christianity quickly became a predominantly Gentile religion, separating from Judaism. The cultural distancing and the persecution of Jews throughout the centuries in the name of Christianity deepened the divide between the two faiths. 6. The suffering Messiah versus the triumphant Messiah. One of the biggest divergences is in the understanding of the Messiah's role. Christians believe that Jesus fulfilled the prophecies by suffering and dying to redeem the sins of humanity. On the other hand, Jews expect a triumphant Messiah who will bring physical and political redemption. They do not recognize the idea that the Messiah would come twice, once to suffer and once to reign, as Christian theology teaches. 7. Jewish expectations for the end of times. Jews believe that when the Messiah comes, all Jews will return to Israel. The temple will be rebuilt. There will be world peace. All humanity will acknowledge the God of Israel as the only God. Since these events did not occur in Jesus' time, Jews conclude that he was not the Messiah. The difference between Christians and Jews regarding Jesus Christ as Savior is complex and goes beyond simple disagreements. It is a matter of interpretation, history, and theology deeply rooted in both traditions. Despite these differences, it is important to remember that both Christianity and Judaism share common roots and many values, such as the pursuit of justice, love for one's neighbor, and faith in one God. If you enjoyed this content and want to continue exploring the mysteries and fascinating stories of the Bible, subscribe to the channel, activate the bell to receive notifications, and share this video with your friends. Let's learn together more about the spiritual riches that unite and inspire us.